Which must turn to battle cries. The tooth is dead. You came in like a thief, and you stole the crown. Your lies keep piling up, and we watch them weigh you down. The fair agree that you stole, they run the whole fucking show. But we are not afraid, and we will not let go. The bigots rise, and you fan the flames. You build an empire of fear and pain. You're in an hand with the billionaire scum, selling out this country while you play dumb. Burn it all down. Tear the walls apart. We will not bow. We will not lose heart. We will put an end to the hate. We will put an end to your lies. We will stand side by side, and we will rise. You think these cages are built for the poor and for the weak, for the families torn apart while you laugh and tweet? Look at the puppets dance to the corporate sound, but we are still here, and we will stand our ground! There is blood on your hands! We have seen the truth erased! You put the prophets first! Instead of the people you've displaced. History is watching, and it won't soon forget. It may not be you this time, but you could soon be next. Burn it all down, tear the walls apart. We will not bow, we will not lose heart. We will put an end to the hate. We will put an end to your lies. We will stand side by side, and we will rise! Rise! Burn it all down! Tear it all apart! Burn it all down! Tear it all apart! Burn it all down! Tear it all apart! Lies on the screen from the deadline machine! Burn it all down! They killed the American dream! Don't blame an escalator, a tower built on decay. Smiling like a tyrant while the world fades away. Fear and hate is the name of your game. Divide the people and shift all the blame. The truth is dead, you sold them for fame. History won't forget your name. Fake empire, built on greed. Fascist clown, watch it bleed! Break the chains! Fight the fire! Dethrone the king! Take it higher! Broke into cases, you've got blood on your hands! Worship the dollar while you ignore our demands! We storm the gates! Our rage is fueled by your lies! We will sit back and watch as your empire crumbles and dies! Fear and hate is the name of your game! Divide the people and shift all the blame! The truth is dead, you sold it for fame! History won't forget! Nay, nay! Fake empire! Built on greed! Fascist clown! Watch it bleed! Break the chains! Fight the fire! Dethrone the king! Take it higher! build walls, we break them down. You spread lies, we burn this town. You breathe fear, we fight back. Hardcore, counterattack. Fake empire going down. No more chains for the crowd. Justice call. Hear the sound. Rise up now and stand your ground. All out. Promises right. Promises right. On a gilded stage, dividing the people, fueling the rage. Walls built high, but compassion's low. Truth buried deep beneath the show. No more lies, no more deceit. We will bow down, we will retreat. Voices loud, we stand as one. The fight's not over, it's just begun. It's just begun. Families torn at the borderline. Justice denied, time after time. Prophet's soul on the planet burns. When will we learn? When will we learn? No more lies, no more deceit. We will bow down, we will retreat. Voices loud, we stand as one. The fight's not over, it's just begun. It's just begun. It's just begun. Resist the power and break the chain. Rise above all this hate and this pain. Together we're strong, we won't divide. In our unity we will find our pride. The fight's not over, it's just begun. 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 The fight's not over. Whispers turn to battle cries. The truth is dead, been fed to lies. They sell us lies in the name of peace. What justice rots beneath the leash. They write the laws just to serve the few. We bleed beneath the red, white, and blue. But freedom's fire still burns inside, where truth and treason often collide. So raise your voice and raise your fist. We are the storm that they can't dismiss. No more kings and no more crowns. We are the ones who will burn it down. The tree of liberty must feed on the patriots who dare to bleed. The tyrants tremble when freedom rings. We are the roots and we will bring the thunder rolling through the land. With fire in our hearts and blood on our hands. The ballot's a joke and the court's offline, and American justice lags a decade behind. So strike the drum and light the flame. Each beaten soul will rise again. The people's wrath is a sacred flood. The soil drains deep the martyr's blood. So raise your voice and raise your fist. We are the storm that they can't dismiss. No more kings and no more crowns. We are the ones who will burn it down. The tree of liberty must feed on the patriots who dare to bleed. The tyrants tremble when freedom rings. We are the roots and we will bring the thunder rolling through the land. With fire in our hearts and blood on our hands. Not for glory, not for gold, but for the stories that were never told. For every voice that they tried to drown, we will plant the flag and hold our ground. So raise your voice and raise your fist. We are the storm that they can't resist. No more kings and no more crowns. We are the ones who will burn it down. The tree of liberty must grow with the blood that only the brave know. And if we should fall, then we fall as one beneath the rising vibrant sun. The tyrants will fall and the people will rise, because freedom never truly dies. They build their towers in the sky, hoarding wealth while the workers die. Billionaires with blood-stained hands, trampling lives to expand their brand. They say they earned it, they say it's fair, but they only take while we despair. Their pockets are fat and their hearts are cold. Working ourselves to death makes them more bold. But now the time has come for the people to rise up. We will never bow, we will never kneel. We see our lives and we know the deal. You hoard the wealth, you crush the poor. We're coming for you, you capitalist whore. This land is your land, this land is my land. We will fight side by side and hand in hand. The system is rigged, it's all just a game. The rich pull the strings, the poor take the blame. Wealth hoarders live in mansions, the people live in chains. The billionaires don't care, they cash it on our pay. Luxury is a cage that's been built on the back of the common workers that they keep under attack. But we the people, we've had it rough. Their empire is fragile, we've had enough. And now the time has come for the people to rise up. We will never bow, we will never kneel. We see our lives, and we know the deal. You hoard the wealth, you crush the poor. We're coming for you, you only got whore. This land is your land, this land is my land. We will fight side by side and hand in hand. No more silence, no more living in fear, no more being divided, no more broken man's tears. Don't try to keep us down. You are not our king. In every city and every town, let motherfucking freedom ring. Because the time has come for the people to rise up. We will never bow, we will never kneel. We see your lies and we know the deal. You hoard your wealth, you crush the poor. We're coming for you, you capitalist whore. This land is your land, this land is my land. We will fight side by side and hand in hand. It's better to die standing on your feet than living a lie down on your knees. It's better to die standing on your feet than living a lie down on your knees. We signed up to fight for freedom, not to be the boots on the necks of Americans. You used us, you lied to us, and now we're coming to square the account. Get fucked and die mad about it! Edmonton 360, bitch! We wear the scars, we bear the pain. We watched our friends die in blood and blade. You said that we fought for liberty, but we came home to fight hypocrisy. You turned a rifle around our peace. You crushed dissent, you unleashed police. You sent us in just to guard your throne. You turned the streets into a combat zone. No one wants to know. Not in this fight, we are alive. Whether it's day or night, no one wants to know. This ain't no game. There is only one true, we are the same. You armored up and sent the troops to beat down kids and protest groups, to guard the banks, protect the suits, so that they can't keep us under their boots. You wave the flag like it's a threat, but we remember every single bet that you left to rot, alone and discarded, while CEOs got golden parachute parties. One walks alone, not in this fight, we are the light. Whether it's day or night, no one walks alone. This ain't no game. There is only one true, we are the same. To every citizen still asleep, wake the fuck up! To my fellow veterans, remember your oath! Our freedom is dying right beneath our eyes! The people in charge tell us nothing but lies. The common people starve while billionaires see, and we're the ones tossed out in the street. Let's eat the rich, let's make them pay their share. Paying their taxes is a burden they can bear. Make billionaires right again! Not in this fight, we are the light. Whether it's day or night, no one walks alone. This ain't no game. There is only one true, we are the same. No one walks alone. Not in this fight, we are the light. Whether it's day or night, no one walks alone. This ain't no game. There is only one true, we are the same. No one walks alone. I got something for you. Hang on to your asses. Golden towers, velvet ropes, behind the mask, a vulture chokes, power suits and dirty hands, wag the dog in desert sands, victims screaming into voids while kings play gods with broken toys, airbrush lies on every screen. What the hell does justice mean? Lock room, VIP, predator in a crowd walking free, blood on the floor, hurt trooping chains. How many more gonna scream in vain? You built your throne on broken laws. Now you're scared, you know what you saw. Silence bought with piles of cash. Erase the files, burn the trash. Martial law for damage control. Draft the poor to hide your soul. Wanna light the world on fire just to dodge the light trip wire. History is a loaded gun. Tick, 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 you better run. Lock room, VIP, predator in a crowd walking free. Blood on the floor, hurt trooping chains. How many more gonna scream in vain? Your kingdom stinks with every name. You'll kill us all to dodge the blame. It's a conspiracy, it's confession. Hidden in plain sight, full suppression. You laugh while the system bleeds, but the streets remember what you need. Truth, there's a crime. You just spare the time. When the lights come my head, your ass is mine. Locked room, VIP. No more secrets, no more gates. Dragged across your marble floor. Truth is kicking down your door. I said I'm young and believe the vow. Stars and stripes, I wear them now. Trained to fight and trained to lead. Wore the flag like it was all I need. I went to war, that was my goal. Buried brothers filling bullet holes. Did what I had to cause that was the cost. I came home proud but broken and lost. The other party used me and threw me away. Now I see through the games they play. They wrapped their lives in red, white, blue, but the blood on my hands was never for you. It was never for you. They said freedom, they said truth, but fed me hate since I was a youth. Republican dreams, conservative pride, just uniforms for the greed they hide. Where were they when the VA failed? When my friends came home and we all derailed? Where were they when we screamed in pain? Too busy chasing power and gain. All the party used me and threw me away. Now I see through the games they play. You bring support to wave your flags while you turn your backs on body bags. Don't turn your back on the fallen. You say that I betrayed you. I bled for this country. What did you ever do? You cheered for war. Then you ran from the wounded. I see who the traitors really are now! I gave my all, you gave me lies. Soldiers die while your empire thrives. Call me woke, call me lost. You never paid the fucking cost. And the party used me and threw me away. But I won't be silent one more day. I fight again, not for your pride, but for every soul you left behind. The party used me and threw me away. But I won't be silent one more day. Justice ain't red, justice ain't blue. It's the truth, and it's coming for you. Marching down the street with your MAGA flag, spitting serpent's lies while you're waving that rag, screaming freedom while you chain the weak. It makes me sick every time you speak. Beneath your cross, beyond your screen, you sold your soul for a fascist dream. Keyboard warrior that don't know pain, a cultist clown whose leader's insane. You are a king, not a constitution. You crave control, not a revolution. But you lick the boots, you're a rich man's pawn. You say you're free, but your freedom's gone. You're not with us, you're a fucking disease. You live in fear, spend life on your knees, try to own the limbs, but you just don't regret. You fake your fate, now you choke on the dead. The party of law and order, but you storm the hill. You back the blue except when you're out to kill. You wave a gun in your neighbor's face. Fake ass patriot, you're a fucking disgrace. History watch while you took your stand. We saw what you did all across this land. American patriots don't kneel to a king. You're a fucking simp sucking that cinnamon ring. You are a king, not a constitution. You crave control, not a revolution, but you lick the boots. You're a rich man's pawn. You say you're free, but your freedom's gone. You're not with us. You're a fucking disease. You live in fear. Spend life on your knees, trying to own the limbs, but you just don't regret. You faked your fate, now you choke on the dead. You traded your hood for a MAGA hat. The mark of the beast, you believe in that? You don't believe the words that you shout. You chant just to drown out the doubt. You were born to lose and you still started this game. The fire is coming and we are the flame. We're gonna tear it down, bury it 6 foot deep, and we'll never forget that you're a shit. You are a king, not a constitution. You break control, not a revolution, but you lick the boots. You're a rich man's pawn. You say you're free, but your freedom's gone. You're not with us. You're a fucking disease. You live in fear. Spend life on your knees, trying to own the limbs, but you just don't regret. You faked your fate, now you choke on the dead. One, 2, 3, 4, 26, 47. 1, 2. He wraps himself in red, white, blue, and lies. Makes NDOs and louder basses boast. He stokes the fire, civil reason dies, and feeds the walls of anti-loyal hoes. He plays for strong and black as foreign ghosts. The sirens feast at their freedom for stealth. His throne is built on smoking shit posts. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. Let liberty, let truth come down. Expose the rapists who try to drag you down. Let history brand and not with any renown. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. He scores people who bled for law and land, and praises the mob that stormed the sacred floor. A coward's grin, a scepter in his hand. He chooses chaos, shatters every door. His pledges rot the meaning nevermore. He traded the truth of treason, gained renown, and still he begs for power, blood, and war. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. Oh, lady liberty, let truth come down. Expose the rapists who tried to drag you down. Let history brand him, not with any renown. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. He turns his back while tyrannies grow bold. He whispers secrets where the hawk should warn, and all for what? Some towers fake and gold. A name embalmed in scandal, loud and worn. No martyr here, just falling to be mourned. A fraud and silken jester in a gown. The gospel's house of shame we won't adorn. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. Lady liberty, let truth come down. Expose the rapists who tried to drag you down. Let history brand and not with any renown. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. Oh, Lady Liberty, we let you down. Oh, Lady Liberty, we let you down. When truth is lost beneath a gilded name, and great parade as patriotic pride, the people's trust becomes a tarnished flame, extinguished where deception dares to strike. This man does not deserve our loyalty, because he thinks that he is royalty. America! Fuck yeah! King free! It's a 7876, so you can stop.
Now it's time for the throw punch. This is an historic live stream. We have our first ever flag officer, whether retired or active is not relevant to the discussion. General Harris, or do you prefer Shawn? Which
Shawn, 100%. Tim, let me just tell you something. I was backstage listening. Man, I must be back in Afghanistan. I'm ready to go outside the wire, man. Y'all got me hyped. I was like, wait a minute. It's been a while since I heard music like that. Let's go. Let's go.
Welcome to the stream. Shawn Harris, retired U.S. Army General. I'm going to let Shawn introduce himself because who knows better than who he is. For those of you that don't know, I'm Admin Tim, also known as Big Sarge, and over here on the other side is Admin Matt, who does not yet have a nickname.
It's true.
General Harris, tell us about yourself.
Hey, man, first of all, I just want to say thank you. I'm proud to be on your show. Thank you for what you're doing, because at the end of the day, it's all about taking care of our veterans. And I'm so proud to be able to wear the uniform. I put it on for 40 years. What I love to tell people all the time, I was blessed to be a general officer, but before coming to general officer, I was Private Harris inside the United States Marine Corps down there at Paris Island, got on those little yellow footprints. I earned my keep, and went from all the way from E1 to E5, about to make E6, and then got a chance to go to ROTC at Tuskegee University. The Army picked up the payment for me, and then I switched over, went into the Guard, went on an AGR program, back and forth with the Army, and just basically spent an entire career with outstanding people, outstanding leaders, outstanding NCOs, outstanding sergeant majors across the board. Deployed to Afghanistan, spent time in Israel, spent time in Kosovo, spent time a little bit of everywhere, spent time down in Hurricane Katrina. So when we have this conversation tonight, bottom line is I didn't have every t-shirt you could give the man, but now I'm retired. I'm a cattle farmer. I live right here in Rockmart, Georgia, believe it or not. And then on top of that, decided to run for Congress. I was running against Marjorie Taylor-Greene. Marjorie Taylor-Greene just quit. Her last day is on January 5th, and then we're going to be in a runoff or a jungle whatever it's called. But at the end of the day, what I want to talk about tonight is what I'm going to do for veterans, because I am a veteran. And the reason why I say you can just call me Shawn is because when we take that uniform off, all that other stuff, we just leave back at the door. So when we walk in the VA, nobody gets any special treatment. And I just want to make sure that every last one of our veterans are getting what they're supposed to be getting at the VA, but more so making sure that they actually get the benefits they already earned, because so many of the veterans here in our district are still waiting to try to go from 10%, 20% to 15%. I'll stop there, and I'm just ready to get into it and start having a conversation with y'all guys.
So I used to live over in Ackworth and Marietta, in the shadow of Kennesaw Mountain. But
yes,
when I lived in Ackworth, I was over near the old historic downtown area. So I'm familiar with your district. What happened to Marcus Flowers? Did he move or just?
No, Marcus is still here in the area. Marcus supports my campaign 100%. Marcus ran the first time, and I actually called Marcus and said, "Hey, Marcus, can we meet at McDonald's right here in Cedartown? Because that's originally where Marcus is from. I live in Rockmart, both Polk County." And I went to that meeting for breakfast that morning for coffee to say to Marcus, "Hey, man, I just retired out the military. You did an awesome job. I watched what you did. I'll throw my support behind you." And the next thing I know, Marcus told me he wasn't running and said, "Shawn, I think you should run." So, hey, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
But no, Marcus is 100% supporting my campaign. He's doing other things right now, doing great things for us and all our veterans. So maybe he's on watching tonight and he'll send in a question.
I hope so. I reached out to his campaign when he was running some years back, wanted to interview him, but I never reached him. I reached his manager, publicist. I don't know who it was. So we chatted a while and then nothing ever came of it. So I was like, all right, well, whatever. You were recently on Paul Rykoff's show.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
All right. I know Paul. Paul is a friend of mine. Back in like 2007, he started AVA, and I joined early, and they sent me this membership packet with like a free T-shirt and a lapel pin and all kinds of cool stuff. I still have that shirt.
Okay.
I can't believe it's been on. It's really cool that you got to be. What did you think of Paul?
It was awesome. I do a lot of interviews now, and he was outstanding. I go on every show, kind of like you mentioned with Marcus. The way I'm running my campaign, anybody who reaches out, I try to make myself available, because in this election that I'm in, you never know what platform is actually reaching the people that you want to talk to. So yeah, I'm talking to somebody almost every day or every night. Today I just took a shower. I think I'm looking nice and clean. Hell, I was just out with my cows. So
Fair enough.
I love it. I had a Navy vet on last night. He's running for Florida State Senate, and we were talking about how we try to tailor our approach to the different guests that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't think I can cut loose with a retired general the same way that I would with like blue collar plumber guy.
No, I would say this. Yes, I was a general, but I spent all of my career in combat arms. So believe me, I've heard it all, seen it all. That's not a problem. And now retired, I love just sitting down and having a conversation with our soldiers, Marines, airmen across the whole spectrum. And they never know that I was a retired general. It's not until maybe 2 or 3 days later, somebody will say to them, that cat that you was talking to, man, that guy was a general. And if you Google his name, you can see him on YouTube doing all kind of crazy stuff.
So this is your first run in politics.
Yes. Yes. And the reason why I kind of caveat that, I ran against Marjorie Taylor-Greene last time. And now I'm running again. The plan was to run against Marjorie again. And then she announced about a month and a half ago that she's going to quit on Northwest Georgia. Her last day is supposed to be January 5th. One of the things I think my team put out today, just to make everybody aware, as of right now, as far as I'm tracking, Marjorie has said on every platform known to man that she's going to retire, quit, whatever you want to say. However, she's yet to write her letter to our governor, Kemp, and say, hey, I am stepping down. From being a military personnel like we are, we understand you got to follow procedures, man. You just can't come out and just say something. You actually got to put it in writing. So one of the things that we put out today was, hey, Marjorie, I know what you said on 60 Minutes. I know what you said everywhere else. But when are you going to sit down and actually type up your damn your letter saying I quit, and then give that to the governor so that the governor can then turn back around and say, this is when we're going to have a special election.
So who So with the special election, walk me through the procedure for the people that don't know.
Yeah.
Walk us through how that's going to work.
Yeah,
Obviously, she's got to resign and submit that letter to Governor Kemp. And
yes.
and
Yeah.
he makes
The
a
way
decision.
the way it works is right now, she has publicly put out there she's going to resign. Great. That letter goes to Governor Kemp. Governor Kemp, after he receives it, we believe he's going to receive it on January 5th. So that'll be Marjorie's official last day. With that being said, on the 4th of January, I think it's important that your audience know this. On the 4th of January, Marjorie hits 5 years. So she locks in her retirement for the rest of her life. So even though she quit in a very smart way to ensure that she got a retirement. But then when the governor says, okay, we got it, we're going to do this special election, this is how it plays out. He would then pick a date. It has to be X amount of days out for all our soldiers that are actually overseas. I think they need about 45 days to be able to get their ballot in. What we're thinking right now, and we don't have anything in writing, but what we're thinking right now, that this election will actually, special election will actually happen in September, mid-September timeframe. With that being said, what makes it different, what makes it special is that it will not be a primary. So that means currently right now, I'm the only Democrat. It's one independent, and I think it's either 17 or 18 Republicans that I'm actually running against. Yes. Okay, put your seatbelt on. It's okay. But 17 or 18 Republicans that I'm running against, and all of us will be on the same ballot. And that's what they call a jungle special election. So with that being said, when people go in, they'll still have it 3 weeks in advance. They'll still have an election day on that Tuesday. But when they go in there, they get to pick who they want to vote for. And then if somebody wins 50 plus 1%, that person wins it outright. Or it may turn into who are the top two. And then those top two, regardless if it's a Democrat, Republican, or independent Republican, or Republican, those two have to go into a runoff and kind of go from there. But where we stand, we are confident that right here, come March, we're going to walk right in there and take this thing on the very first time out the gate, because we got Democrats, independents, and Ronald Reagan Republicans that are supporting me. And that is the reality of where we're at, because the people that I'm running against, good people. I never talk bad about people, but some of them, I'm not sure if they know what they're actually running for and how much money it takes to do running for Congress.
Speaking of
what would you say?
Sorry, go ahead, boss.
No, you go ahead. You haven't gotten anything in so far.
True. I was actually hoping to dovetail off of where Tim had started in talking about your service and your call to service, and what's brought you into running into politics. As anyone looking at your record and what you've done for this country might attempt to say, hey, you've done more than your fair share. You've done your bit for the community, for your country. What brings you back into kind of a rough place here in politics?
Well, the reality of it is, we got back from Israel. My last assignment was Israel. I was a senior defense official there. Got back, bought this place where I'm at currently now here in Rockmart, bought a nice farm. We started a cattle farm. And some of my friends, also veterans, was over here at the house helping me put up some fencing. And during that conversation, they said, hey, sir, you still got way too much energy. You need to go to DC. And I said to them, guys, hell, if I wanted to go to DC, I would have did like everybody else, bought a house in Virginia, and did that normal life that you know what I'm talking about, and made a hell of a big paycheck. I said, I didn't want that. I want to come back home to my home state, raise cattle, spend time with the wife, spend time with the grandkids, and call it good. And they said, hey, Shawn, we think you should run. And we know, just looking at your background, that you're a Republican. And I said, guys, I'm not a Republican. I'm a Democrat. Thinking that would make them say, okay, we don't want to have a conversation no more. We still like you. You're our friend, but we still like you. And they said, okay, Marjorie Taylor-Greene got to go. we still going to support you, Shawn. And that's how we ended up getting in the race. So from that, we have built a coalition of Democrats, Independents, and Ronald Reagan Republicans that are in behind my race. Last time we got 135,000 people who voted for me. That's the most people ever voted for a Democrat in this ruby red district. And that's what we're building off of, because, and I'll just put it plain, guys. To go from being Private Shawn Harris to Brigadier General retired Shawn Harris, I ain't got no damn fear. None. So I'm not the cat that's going to get all nervous and say, oh, I can't win. I can't do this. The reality of it is everything I've done in my life has been hard. And I like it that way. So if this was an easy race where the whole thing was blue, then you probably wouldn't be talking to me, because I could be doing something else. Where versus here in this district, the people deserve somebody that's a leader. Somebody's going to listen to them. Somebody's going to care about them. Somebody's going to say, you know what? I'm not voting for a party. I'm not voting to a president. I'm voting for what's best for the people here in Northwest Georgia. And oh, by the way, hold me accountable. And that's what makes me different from all the 17, 18 people that I'm running against. You talk to those cats, and every last one of them, the first thing going to come out their mouth is, I'm down with Donald Trump. And if you're down with Donald Trump, then on the reality of it is, you're not voting for you're not looking out for the people here in Northwest Georgia.
Do you think that that is potentially going to hurt them, trying to hitch their wagon to Donald Trump after specifically? I imagine that people voted for, in your district, voted for Marjorie Taylor-Greene because A, party line politics, but also B, she at least, paid at least lip service, if not anything more than that, to trying to get things done for the district. Whereas it seems like lately any candidate that gets backed by Trump loses. So do you think that's going to hurt them, but also give you more of an opportunity to pick up some of her constituents? And I realize that there are going to be people in this stream who are like way left of me, who are going to be like, oh, you don't want those votes. But regardless of what side of the fence you are on, a candidate is on in general, they represent everybody, not just the people that vote for them.
100%, and that's something I've said since day one. I don't get wrapped around a t-shirt. If this is not a Georgia Alabama football game, if you understand what I'm saying there. This is about people's lives and trying to make things better for them. So right now, Marjorie Taylor-Greene and Donald Trump are in the middle of a civil war. I'm not going to wade into that civil war. That's their business. What I'm actually saying to the people here in Northwest Georgia, you actually had Marjorie for 5 years. She did nothing for you. Nothing. Period. And if she did, she would be talking about her record, but it's nothing there. The only thing that Marjorie got on her stuff that she actually did was she actually changed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And as you know, because you lived in our area, we're not that far from Panama City, Florida. So when you go down to Panama City, you tell them they don't actually give you a discount because it's called the Gulf of America now. So basically where I'm saying is this: I want to be that other option for Ronald Reagan Republicans to say, hey, Shawn Harris is more aligned with my values as a Democrat than these other 17, 18 people that's over here. The first thing come out of their mouths is, hey, I'm supporting Donald Trump. And that tells you if they're supporting Donald Trump based on the things Donald Trump has said about Marjorie Taylor-Greene and based on things that even came out today on a tape that was released, it should be very clear that they should try to separate themselves. But that's their business. Hopefully you get some of them on your show. But I'm not sure what their backgrounds are, to be honest with you.
You mean the Republican candidates?
Yeah, but I put anybody on your show. At the end of the day, the way I look at it, if you're going to be a candidate and you're trying to represent Northwest Georgia, then hell, go on anybody's show. If Fox News called me in the morning and said, Shawn, we want you to be on the Fox News morning, you that is 100% red. I'll be the first one to say, tell me what time you want me to be on, up and ready to go. Because at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I'm communicating to everybody here in the district. I want to make sure that everybody in this district, no matter what t-shirt they wear, they actually hear Shawn Harris and they understand where I stand on the policy, on the issues. Because when they hear that, they're going to realize that, wait a minute, this guy is focused on kitchen table issues. Hence, that's what's hurting us here in this district. And that's why I'm running, because I'm going to fix those kitchen table issues that we have.
It's not unheard of for people on the left to go on Fox News. And it generally, one of two things happens. Either they go in and they just have a straight down the middle conversation, or somebody tries some gotcha BS on them and they set them straight. And that turns into like a wonderful soundbite. As far as people on the right coming on Sons of Liberty, I'm not opposed to the idea. Like, for example, if
guys, I'm
Marjorie
getting
Taylor-Greene.
I'm hearing.
I think he was asking me a question about going on Fox News, but I caught every other word.
You're correct.
I was saying that it's not unheard of for people on the left to go on to Fox News, and usually one of two things happens. They have a straight up conversation, and there's no, spin on it, or they go on there and one of the hosts tries some, a gotcha moment, and they get their ass handed to them because whoever it is politically savvy, knows their talking points.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to having people on the opposite side of the aisle, coming on our live stream. I would treat them respectfully, because if they're going to give their time to us, I'm going to try to honor that. But at the same time, there's that professional NCO in me who's like, don't you bullshit me. I will knife hand you and call you out right here in front of God and everybody.
Well, yeah, but if they bullshit you, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to throw that knife on them and say, look, I'm calling you out. And they will learn from that we need more shows like yours that you would call a candidate out on bullshit. No ifs, ands, buts about it. And like I said, that's why when my team told me that I was going to be on your show tonight, I said, oh yeah, great. And like I said, when I jumped on early and I was listening to the music, I thought I was headed out on the deployment. We was back in Afghanistan there for a second.
We like to rock it hard.
True.
Not much room for country music, although maybe there is. I don't know. So your platform, you right off the bat, right out of the gate, you led off with veterans initiatives. So tell us about your platform, and feel free to talk about whichever policy points or campaign points that you want to stand on.
Yeah, I actually got a text earlier today. We put out that I was going to be on y'all guys' show, and I wasn't sure exactly how people would get me questions. So we had an individual. Let me just look right here at my phone real quick. His name is Phil. He's from Rome, Georgia. And he actually asked a question, and that question was, hey, tell me one or two or three things that you personally going to do for the veterans here in Northwest Georgia. And I'll address that particular question, but by addressing that question, we'll also get at your question, Tim. So day one, when Shawn Harris gets to Washington, D.C., and I raise my right hand and take the oath, you will immediately see three things happen back here inside of the district. One, 3 different offices will open up. One will be in Dalton, Georgia. One will be in Rome, Georgia. And then another one will be over in West Cobb area. With that being said, those 3 offices, I know it sounds crazy. Marjorie doesn't have any offices open here in the district. So that in itself, those offices will open up so that if people got questions of me or need help, They don't have to go driving all over the district. They can get to those local places and go from there. But in addition to that, inside of those 3 offices, it will be additional office that handles veteran issues. So I will have somebody who actually works in there. And when I say have somebody that work in there, I'm not talking about somebody that just answers the phone and say, hi, do you want some coffee? I'm talking about when you come in, your spouse or this veteran comes in and they got to fill out some paperwork to try to get their benefits. They'll go from 10% to 20% to 50% to 100%, whatever it is, that person can sit down with them and help fill out the paperwork and fill it out the right way so that they can actually get it turned in and get the percentage they want. The second thing that person will do is make sure that they sit down with the spouse and make sure the spouse understands that when her husband or wife passes away, these are the things that she or he should be receiving upon the death of the veteran. Because so many times when a veteran passes away, the spouse gets left out because she or he have no idea that they're supposed to be receiving something after the spouse, after the veteran passes away. And then the third thing is this: I will make sure that every veteran in this district, when I start talking about affordable housing, it will not be any more veterans in this district that will ever be homeless. That will be built into my program, that when I'm talking about affordable housing, that we will build houses throughout this district specifically designed for any veteran that's homeless. Most of these things are, see them in the major cities, but in small towns, there's nothing there for you. So I'll make sure of that. And then the last piece, which is the fourth thing, is right now here in Northwest Georgia, and I'm not sure about other places, but I can only speak about where I'm at because I help veterans every day, and this is serious. Veterans are in crisis, okay? In crisis. We don't have any mental health facilities for them, period. The mental health facility here in our district is going to the jail for the sheriff, and they lock you up for the weekend. And if they can get you calmed down, then they release you back out on Monday. This is not Andy Griffith Town. I will make sure that we actually have health care, mental health services, wraparound services for every last one of our veterans. And the cool thing that makes me different from everybody else that I'm running against is this: nobody have to brief me on this. I'm a veteran. The same issues that our fellow veterans, sisters and brothers are facing, I'm facing. So this is not something that I have to get told, Shawn, do this or say this. No, this is something when I wake up in the morning, when we have our first cup of coffee, I'm asking my staff, where are we at on making sure we get mental health facilities for our veterans, period. Get it done now. Don't give me all the bullshit. Let's get it done now. So that's what I'm going to do for our veterans. That's my platform. And then on top of that, many veterans have my direct phone number, and it's never going to change. I want to make sure that at any time they can call me directly and we can sit down and talk about the issue. And still, when I come home on the weekend, I plan to go around and sit down and have a cup of coffee with them and make sure that we're doing everything we possibly can do. Like, I'll say one more thing. If I'm not mistaken, 35,000 doctors and nurses, medical facility people that's supposed to be working for the VA are in the process of losing their jobs. And when I say losing their jobs, they weren't already there. They're just cutting those positions. I'm going to work when I get to Congress to make sure we get those positions back, because it already takes you an arm and a leg to try to get an appointment in the VA right now. The workers at the VA is doing a good job. However, it takes you a long time to get a damn appointment. And in this district, you either got to go to Atlanta, Georgia, or Chattanooga, Tennessee to get to a VA, because we only got one little small clinic in Rome, Georgia, and that's a little clinic that I go to. So again, I don't have to have nobody brief me up on it. The people there are doing a great job. It's just when you go there, if you need anything else, you're going to Atlanta or you're going to Chattanooga, Tennessee. And now at the age 58, 59, I can drive there easy, but make me 84. Mm-hmm. I'm scared to drive to Atlanta in 6-lane traffic because the VA is downtown Atlanta. So I'm gonna stop there. But when it comes to veterans, I'm passionate about it. You make me turn back into General Harris and say, we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done now. And if you can't get it done, then I'm going to get somebody else on my staff that know how to get it done. So that'll be the one area, one place where I'm more General Harris than I'll be the politician, because when it comes to our veterans, I gotta get it done now. I can't be talking about I get it done in 6 months, a year, 3 years from now. Nope, I gotta get it done now.
And if I may ask, what does it look like to expand upon that, to widen the impact, if you will, of what you're proposing and talking about?
Mm-hmm. Well, I would tell you, here in this district, we roughly got about 40,000 veterans here in Northwest Georgia. That's what we can track. Is probably more. I went to a veterans event that the VA was on in Rome, Georgia, probably about 6 months ago. And it was amazing how many veterans came to that event trying to get their medical documents together, trying to get their benefits, all those kind of things. But guess what? Many of those veterans was one generation before us. Many of them were Vietnam veterans and older. They were still trying to get their benefits for Agent Orange. Now, you know, like I know, I'm not going to say anything's perfect, but we know what we put our brothers through in Vietnam. So why are they still trying to get it figured out? And the reason why they told me is because they don't know how to fill the paperwork out. And that's why I'm saying I'm going to have somebody that help them. And then I think y'all guys probably know that there's some companies out there. You see them on TV all the time, 3 o'clock in the morning, talking about if you're a veteran, we can get you get to 100%, but you got to pay them. Everything that will be coming out of my office will be legit, and it will be for free. And because I don't want any of our veterans to get scammed by these scam artists out here that's trying to push you and for all purpose get your Social Security number and steal from you instead of helping you get your benefits.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen those companies. I've actually been targeted by some of them ad wise. Come over here and you know, pay us a nominal fee and we'll get you sorted.
Yeah.
And first of all, outside of what your office wants to do, if people don't want to avail themselves of that, they can also go to a veteran service officer at places like the American Legion, for example. Any post that's reputable. The one that I was part of in Ackworth had 2 VSOs that were on duty. As long as the building was open, they had at least one person there who could help you with your VA paperwork. So that's people don't need to pay for that.
And that's what I want to piggyback on. I want to make sure that I'm connected to all our veteran organizations throughout the entire district. And because some of the time when you go to the different VFW and all these different places, they're not open. I want to make sure that we have something that's open 6 days a week. And the reason why I say 6 days a week is because some people can't make it there Monday through Friday. So I want to make sure that each one of my offices inside the district it is the standard that on Saturday morning we're open from 8 to noon or whatever the number is going to be, so that person that works Monday through Friday can still come down to our office and get their paperwork started, and we can help them and just follow up with them as it goes. So I want to make sure that my office, when it comes to our everyday citizen in the district, but specifically to our veterans, I want to make it as user-friendly as possible. And then on Saturday mornings when I'm flying back from DC on Friday, whatever day I'm supposed to come back, at least once a month, I'm going to personally be in one of the facilities. I'll tell everybody where I'm at, and that's where I plan to sit down and just kind of have coffee with whatever veterans or whoever's inside of the office. That's my way of giving back, listening directly, and you know, I know I'm blessed to retire as a brigadier general or retire as a general. And many of our veterans, some of them said they have never seen a general in their entire life. So I just love sitting down and shaking a hand and having coffee, and I still give out coins. I'll just say it that way.
Very nice.
And I pay for them. I pay for them. So I pay for them and I still pass out coins. There you go, my friend. I got plenty of them behind me back here.
Very nice.
Matt doesn't have any coins, so he's buying.
It's true.
I didn't make the rules.
It's true.
Now, you said you were going to open an office in Dalton. Is that right?
Yes.
Dalton's pretty.
Yes.
I did some filming for an indie western over in Villanelle, which is a little to the west through like this little windy road that they cut through a mountain or whatever. It's very pretty country. So you got a beautiful district.
Yes. Very, very, very pretty, very diverse. A lot of small towns. And then because now the way it's cut is we get into West Cobb. So when we get into West Cobb, that Atworth that you were talking about earlier in our conversation is actually in our district. That's where Marjorie, the last time she made herself famous, that's where she tased everybody, was in Atworth. So she made Atworth hit the map. And it's funny, 4 months later, I went there and did a town hall. People came, great. I had no clue what their questions were. And I told them, no matter what question that you ask me, I promise you two things. One, you will not get tased and you will not go to jail. Those are the facts. And I do town halls all over this district. But that was the last time Marjorie did a town hall, and she made the national news and just embarrassed us and embarrassed herself.
It's wild. Since we're talking healthcare, what if I might pivot again on policy here to talk about healthcare more in general and what you intend to do for your district should you be elected?
Yeah, my wife is a physician, so I get a chance to see healthcare right up front. And I have other members of my greater family that are also doctors and nurses and you name it across the board. So at Thanksgiving, we have great discussion on what is happening in Georgia and other states. And when it comes to healthcare, the number one thing that's happening in healthcare right now, as y'all guys know, and I think we're going to see this play out here in April, the ACA is going to default. People's insurance rates are going to go extremely high. Access is going to become a problem. In addition to that, the rural community where I live, people will be still okay in the large urban areas because they got so many hospitals. Mm-hmm. But take where I live right here in Polk County. Polk County is beautiful. We got one little bitty hospital. If that little bitty hospital closes, we're all jammed up. It doesn't make any difference. You're Republican, Democrat, or Independent. We're all jammed up. Then on top of that is this: even if we don't lose the hospital, and I'm using Polk County's hospital as an example. I go there. That's where I go to the doctor. They do an awesome job, but I want to make sure that we have a real world example of this. You have a nice facility, but guess what? Most of the doctors that work there only work there one day out of the week. The rest of the time, they're in some other major city. So if you're sick and you go there and that's not the day that they're actually there, only thing you're doing is going to a hospital to be ultimately transported somewhere else. And as y'all guys know, doing time in the military, the steps could be the difference between you living and dying. So I want to make sure I'm going to put policy in place that we will put incentives in place to actually bring more doctors back to our small hospitals in the rural community and nurses and other medical personnel, so that it's an incentive for them to come out of the larger cities, come out here to the rural community, and then stay. No different than what y'all guys know inside the military. When we need somebody in a particular MOS, we come up with the money to come up with a nice little bonus to get you to stay. And then in order for you to stay, sometimes we give you a retention bonus. So I want to take that type concept and say, okay, how can I address the shortage of doctors and nurses inside of our rural community? And then on top of that, what things can I do to ensure that we can make sure that people still have access to the ACA and bring down a healthcare insurance. Because I think when I get to DC after the special election is over, that's going to be the number one thing. Is going to be healthcare, and that healthcare, we mentioned it earlier, but that healthcare issue is also the same issue when it comes to our veterans, because many of our veterans, before they can get to a VA, they probably going to end up going to the local hospital. But when they go to the local hospital, they're going through their emergency room, and that's just not helpful.
I want to introduce you to Admin Asia, who has her webcam on for the very first time in the entire history of Sons of Liberty live stream. She's another one of our admins and content creators. She's joining us a little late.
Okay.
Also, apparently, she doesn't have any lights.
Yeah, I can barely see you down there, but good to see you.
Okay, yeah, that's by design. Okay, so yeah, this is a bit of a compromise. Okay, guys. I am the security admin. So
outstanding.
The security and privacy admin. So this is a compromise of me not having good lighting, and so that I can still protect privacy and security. It's my pleasure to meet you. I apologize for being late. I had a very important birthday party to attend, and I am arriving home late from the festivities.
Ma'am, that is real world. That is real. That's the real world. Don't miss a birthday party on my behalf. No. Well,
I really did want to come and meet you. I was I'm very pleased to meet you. I was rushing home to be able to make this appointment. So
well, it's nice to meet you.
I'm trying to get my headphones on as we speak so that you won't have to hear background noise here.
No, it's all good. All good.
Okay. That was unexpected.
So, yeah. I thought it was just going to be us. I wouldn't expect anybody else to make it. So when you get elected, let's say that they ask you to be on a committee, and just your dream committee. What would your dream committee be if you were asked to?
I would tell you anything that's. Let me back up. Because when you get to DC, you got to follow the rules, okay? And it's kind of like coming into the military and coming into a unit. I'll use a unit as an example since our audience is veterans. You when you come to the unit, you have to have yourself prepared for whatever position you're coming for. But sometimes you come to the unit, and Sergeant Major puts you in the slot that he wants to put you in. And so when I come to DC, I may be qualified to do a lot of different things. However, I'm going to let the leadership tell me, since I'll just be there on my very first day, to say, hey, do you want me working on veteran issues? Do you want me working on foreign affairs issues? Do you want me working on agriculture issues? Where best do you see me in? I'm willing to work. Or if they actually look into my top secret side of my career, whatever that is, do you want me on those type committees? I'm willing to work anywhere because that's what a leader will do. But when I work on that, that is just one little small piece of the duties and responsibility. My real focus will still be here on the district and trying to bring back generational jobs, trying to make sure I take care of our veterans, trying to make sure all those things, because I think so many people don't understand when we own different committees, that's where you spend a lot of your time behind the scenes working on those committees, trying to get things done. But specifically here in our district, agriculture in the great state of Georgia and also in our district is the number one employer in our district. Then we have our veterans, then we have healthcare. So I want to make sure that whatever position they put me on, that I can help influence that. So to answer your question, right now, with agriculture being our number one industry, I would love to be, and not the answer that you're probably looking for, but I would love to be somewhere tied to anything that's dealing with agriculture. And the reason why, because we got to get the Farm Bill passed, and specifically why I say we got to get the Farm Bill passed, because the Farm Bill touches our district in two different ways. One, yes, it's called a farm bill, but that money for the farmers is strictly when we have a natural disaster to help them get back on their feet. 60% of the money inside of the farm bill is for SNAP. In this district where we sit, we just had the government shut down, and I'm convinced it's going to shut down again. 141,000 people, seniors and children, are the.
Oh, we lose the signal?
That when we're actually discussing those things, that the district got a champion that's going to fight for it every day, and that's kind of where I'm looking to go. So whatever they want me to do, I'll do it.
AJ cut out there just a little bit at the end, but it looks like we're back on track. Tim, you tracking?
Yeah, it cut out for me too, but it picked right back up.
Okay.
So we've got a bunch of folks when it comes to.
Yeah, I see it where it's kind of like got little circles.
Yeah, we got a bunch of folks asking in the chat where you stand on universal health care, Medicaid for all. As you know, that's a big top question for a lot of folks in this country, especially with surging costs of health care and a lot of folks that have to choose between being able to pay for their power and their heat and be able to pay for their prescriptions. It's rough. Did I cut out?
I caught every other word. I think you was still talking about healthcare. Was that correct?
Yes, sir. I apologize. I'm trying to see what I can do here. We had a number of questions in our comment section this evening asking about what your position is on universal health care and or Medicaid or Medicare for all.
Yeah, I would tell you what I plan to do when I get to DC was, one, we have to get the ACA passed. I'm not convinced is this going to get done before I get there. So when I get to DC, I'm going to be another yes vote. And then on top of that, we have to work to get the healthcare insurance down. Now, when I say that, I'm not 100% sure how that's going to look. But what I will say to our veterans is this: I'm going to make sure that it fits everybody, our civilian population, but I'm also going to make sure that the health care that we have, what we're putting out, will also take care of our veterans in the civilian capacity, but also when they actually go into the VA system. I will tell you, and it's going to be hard as hell to pull off, but I want to make it where if you go to the civilian doctor and then you have to go to the VA, that those two systems talk to each other, because many a times you constantly have to, when you're going in between the two, and many times in the rural community, you end up going between the two. You have to answer the same questions over and over. And as our veterans get older, they struggle sometimes keeping up with what medicine they supposed to be doing or what actions they supposed to be doing. So that's what I plan to do, is try to make it seamless, bring down the cost, and at the same time, make sure this ACA gets passed, because I think that's going to be the close fight. And then after I get there and get on the ground for about a year, then I can come back on. I would love to come back on y'all show, hold me accountable. I want all the veterans holding me accountable, because when I get to DC, I can care less if you got a red shirt on or a blue shirt. Those individuals that are veterans, I plan to be able to sit down with them and say, okay, what is our veteran platform across the board? What is it, and how can we actually get there? And I think all our veterans that are in that's in Congress can probably all agree that we need to take care of our brothers and sisters across the board, because I still think we probably gonna got some more wars to come in the future.
Sorry, I'm just cleaning up chat. We got a little weirdo talking about butt boys. That's his thing. That's cool, but
people say dumb things. Now, hopefully we are talking to you again next year when you've successfully run and you've arrived in Congress. I'm certainly, I I'd certainly love to have you back on the show then. It'd be an absolute good report card moment to see what you've been able to do and where you've been able to get to with it. Hopefully,
well, I would tell you that's one of the things that I continue to say to the people that I'm trying to represent here in Northwest Georgia. I want you to hold me accountable. I want you to have access to me. I want you to make me explain why did I vote a particular way. And you know, that's when you hear me talk about leadership matters. That's what it's all about. If you're a real leader, then you should be able to stand up and explain why you voted for something, and then explain that, okay, I know as a leader at any given time that 50% of the people are going to be upset with me. If everybody loved every decision that I made, then I'm not a leader. I'm a puppet for somebody. So so when you're in the leadership business, you got to have tough skin, and you gotta live with your decision. So, but my decision will always be what is best for the people here in Northwest Georgia, because Northwest Georgia is a small rural community that also has some larger cities, and we'll make sure that we blend the two across the board.
Now, speaking of the diverse outlook of your community, I'm wondering if you can talk to us a bit about what is the pitch? What is the call to those who maybe see the letter next to your name and think, "Oh, it's not for me"? How do you reach out to them? What is the sales pitch, if you will, for how you appeal across the aisle?
You know, at the end of the day, one of the things that we have been doing here for a long time, I go to every zip code in this district. I go to places that nobody else won't go and have a conversation just like I'm having with y'all. Straightforward, no buzzwords, no whatever, just a straightforward conversation. And people can ask me any question they want to. The reason why I do that is because so many people try to put you in a box. Okay? Put you in a box. What I always say to people, if I was built to be in a box, then I probably should have retired as command sergeant major, because it was people who said to me that I was crazy as hell to take my stripes off and go and become a dumbass lieutenant. I remember that like it was yesterday. Just like it was yesterday. Yep, I remember. But at the end of the day, I tell you that story for this reason, is because I went through all those things. At the end of the day, what I want to make sure is that here in this district, people figure out, wait a minute, I know Shawn Harris as the person. Shawn is bigger than just a D beside his name. Matter of fact, for 40 years in the military, I never told anybody I was a Democrat, a Republican, or independent. It was only till I got into this particular game. And oh, by the way, being a Democrat does not define Shawn Harris. My Republican counterparts, being a Republican defines them as being MAGA or being for Donald Trump. The Democratic Party will tell you, yep, we know Shawn Harris. Shawn Harris is a leader. Shawn Harris is a good person. Shawn Harris is going to work hard for Northwest Georgia. And that's why we believe Shawn Harris is the right person to be running. And oh, by the way, that's why there's no other Democrat that's running against me in this race. Think about what I just said. It's not because I'm cute. It's because I'm in the leadership business, period. That's why they got 17, 18 on their side, and we got one Democrat here. Because guess what? In this district, you got to be man enough or woman enough to say, I'm not married to a damn party. I'm married to what's right. And that's the difference between Shawn Harris and the rest of them. So when people try to say, well, he's a Democrat, he's an idiot, he's this, probably some of people put that in some of your chat. Guess what? Those people weren't going to vote for me in the first place. They wouldn't.
That's fair.
What I'm trying to appeal to is common sense, everyday people that's trying to feed their kids, that's going to work every day and figuring out when they get their damn paycheck, it doesn't make ends meet. But somebody keep telling them they're going to bring some good jobs here. I'm the cat that's going to bring the good jobs here. I'm the one that's going to get it done. And just like I did in the military, I'm going to hold myself accountable. If you notice, I'm pointing at myself. I never point at somebody else, because when you point at somebody else, it's 3 damn fingers pointing back at you asking, what did you do? So I'm pointing at myself. We're going to get it done. I'm going to bring a team in, and that team will consist of Democrats, independents, and Republicans will be on my team. Why will Republicans be on my team in Congress? It's because when we're writing a policy at 3 o'clock in the morning, yes, we will work. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to say to my Republican counterpart, do we have the right words in here for that part of our community? I'm going to say to my Democrat counterpart, do we have the right words in here for this part of our community? And I'm going to say to my independent, okay, help us blend this so that we can make sure that we're taking care of everybody. Because that's what Northwest Georgia, actually our makeup is truly. What you hear is noise from the two extremes. That's all you hear is the noise from the two extremes. Most of the people here in this district are right in the middle, hardworking people just trying to feed their families.
General Harris, I have a question for you. Aside
Yes,
from most recent things like inflation, and some of the zippy things that people like to name, what do you think are some of the strongest reasons why normal, regular people, like the people sitting here right now, the people that are in our chat right now that are watching, why we can't make ends meet anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think there's such a huge wealth gap and huge income inequality, and one that has widened drastically in this country recently?
Yeah, thank you for that question, ma'am. The reason why is this big, beautiful bill that's going to be hitting here in January is going to even become worse, is that policies are put in place. Policies used to be put in place for the middle class and below. Okay. Now policies are being put in place for the rich and the ultra rich. Hence, they actually talked about it here over the Christmas holidays that the economy, people are spending money, but it wasn't you and I that was spending money. It was actually the billionaires that are actually spending all the money right now. But not. The reality of it is what I want to make sure that happens, this is specifically here in this district, I want to bring in what we call generational jobs that's going to be supported by labor. But in addition to that, when I say generation, that means not only can you have an affordable job that will feed your family, but not only you, but your kids and your kids and your kids and your grandkids. So, other words, I'm bringing a company or organization here that's going to be here for the next 30, 40, 50 years and make
what
sure
kind
that
of companies are you speaking of, though? Because I'm so sorry to interrupt. When you say that,
I'm glad you did.
I'm
I will
interested
tell
to
you
know what kind of companies, because from the tech sector, right? I hear a lot about like AI and stuff like that, and so people in my sector, in my field, especially my generation, I've been looking for work for 2 years, and I'm highly qualified, but I had to take some time off to take care of my kid, who is special needs. And so working in security, if you're out for 2 years, 5 years, you might as well start from the beginning. And if you are a woman, you're further back. And if you are, you add on the things. So people in security and tech are looking at AI and going, well, it used to be they said they learned to code. Well, now it's not learn to code because AI codes for you. Anybody can code now.
Correct.
And it's
GBT
looking
is out
at
there.
like the new robotics, which replaced a lot of manufacturing jobs, is now AI. So what kind of jobs are you talking about? If it's not going to be service and it's not going to be like customer service and all that stuff, what are we talking about?
What I'm talking about, and I'm glad you asked me a question, so thank you for that. What I'm talking about, if you use Huntsville, Alabama as an example, what I'm talking about, some people say, well, Shawn, you don't want to bring all the military stuff here. You're right. I don't. However, I do want to make sure that if the United States and the world is trying to go somewhere 40, 50 years from now, I want to bring a portion of that particular company here to Northwest Georgia, because we have people in Northwest Georgia that gets up every Monday morning and drive to Huntsville, Alabama, and they stay in Huntsville for the week and then come back, because that's the closest place that they can find a job that's actually going to give them a livable wage. I want to be able to bring some of those type industries into the district that will make sure that your kids and your grandkids and the grandkids that's of that will actually have a job that, you're exactly right, ma'am, that a computer will not take over. And I think as AI further develops, I think as politicians, we're going to put some more control measures on it, because jobs that we were told that was not supposed to become AI, well, hell, they already AI. I just came back off of vacation with my family. I was in the airport, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and my wife said to me, "Wow, it's hard to figure out, is the people that's talking on the speaker, are they talking to us saying that gate number 22 whatever is to you about to get on?" And the reason why, now AI is the person that's talking to you, and AI has no personality, so you have no clue,
it's not
he
ready
talking
yet.
about our flight or the
Yeah.
flight down the hall. So
And it's not ready yet. They're selling it, but it's not ready yet. It's not ready for prime time. It's not nearly as intelligent as they're selling it to be. And they've sold it to our government. They sold it to our government to run our government, but it is not nearly ready to run anything. In order to learn more about this, I programmed my own AI here at home, to help myself and my daughter, neurodivergent, with some basic executive function tasks. And it can do a lot of the same basic stuff that the stuff that's being sold to the government can do. I mean, and if I can do that at home, come on. And now this AI bubble thing is real. It's a real bubble. They would need in order for it to do the stuff that they're talking about it doing is kind of incredible. And right now they're hoping that none of us are going to notice, like that they have to like build all of these facilities all over the country and get us to pay for them and stuff like that in order for them to be able to catch up to the promises that they've made. But right now, what you're seeing when you're at the airport is the fact that AI is not ready to replace all these jobs. But it's been sold to all these companies as being ready to replace these jobs. And all the wealth hoarders that are running these companies are more than ready to get rid of a few more people's jobs in order to replace them with AI, just so that their stocks can go up, 0.25%, so that they can get another bonus. So my question goes back to, once again, like, what are we going to do about this? I think the problem really is that we have a greed problem in this country. We have a wealth hoarder problem in this country. And it's the out of control greed and wealth hoarding that is hurting us the absolute most. And I would love to see, more, local jobs, more local companies and stuff. But every time local companies and jobs and stuff get created, every time you bring stuff like that to a local area, what happens is, billionaire oligarchs get their undies in a twist and they smash them and they buy them out and then they're gone again.
Yeah.
So what do we do about that?
At the end of the day, this bubble that we own, when I get to Congress, I got to join the rest of the leaders up there, because if I'm not mistaken, Congress hasn't actually put anything in place to control what you're talking about.
Correct.
So this conversation that you're talking about is something that I could take to DC and start having that conversation, because right now, I'm not going to lie to you, right now it is completely out of control. And it's going to take some serious policy to get our hands to get this back inside the toothpaste, because it is out. Okay, it is out. I'm not going to BS you on that. It is out. What I'm going to try to do is here from Northwest Georgia, whatever job that I'm bringing here, I'm trying to make sure that a human, a real person, will be able to do that job for the next 30, 40, 50 years. And at the same time, do a very good job where they can actually feed their family. And because right now, we have a lot of people try to do things online, but we don't actually have the internet. We don't, broadband is not everywhere in our district. So it's going to take some extra smaller steps to get to where we want to be. I'll give you a real world example. When I first got here to my house right here in Rockmart, I could not do this interview with y'all guys. My internet was just way too slow. Period. If I didn't have the means to put some extra juice in my house, I still couldn't actually do it. I have to go up to McDonald's to try to talk to you. So I still see people every day driving up to McDonald's and sitting out in the parking lot trying to get some good internet to take a class what they're trying to take online. And usually those people that are taking the class online are women because they're still at home trying to take care of the kids or they sing or whatever. So these are the type things that is constantly pinging through my mind is how can I help everyday people with the issues that they're addressing today? But at the same time, when I put policy together, how do we put meat and potatoes inside of those policies so that 10, 15, 20 years from now, those people still actually got a job and they wouldn't just stepped on like what happened so many times in the past. I think I can see some of y'all guys questions in the text, but they're so small I can barely see them. But I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be reading them or y'all supposed to be reading.
Well, that's on us. We're supposed to be spotlighting them into it, though. You've had a lot of good answers for stuff so far.
Yeah, you have great answers so far. And thank you for answering my question, letting me redirect
Thank you for that question.
Excuse me, reorganize my thoughts. I appreciate that.
No, I love those type questions because those type questions that you just asked me, those.
Oh, we lost him again.
It's that Rockmart internet.
We should work on internet in that district.
It's a very rural area. I wouldn't be surprised if he's on.
Yeah, I remember Tim trying to game with us when.
Oh my God,
he was out there.
Okay,
just like, oh, where'd he go?
Are we back?
All right, there we go.
Yeah, what were you saying?
Yeah, you back.
Okay.
You were saying that my question was terrible and I should stop speaking.
No. Your question is spot on. And I promise you, I won't mention the word broadband anymore. I don't want it to drop.
They heard you talking about it.
Called it.
So new rule. We can't talk about broadband, and we got to stop talking about AI because they starting to hear us. They're going to cut us off here in a minute.
The bots heard you. They're plotting against us now.
We had a question from one of our users there about a funding for the cleanup for a GE plant in Rome, Georgia. You know anything about that?
One.
Yes. Yeah, I'm aware of the I think it's GE plant, or was it GE or GM?
GE.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. And yes, when I get to DC, I already have it on our agenda to put some procedures in place so that they can finally get the money to clean the place up so that Rome, Georgia can do something with that facility. Right now, my understanding is because it got some environmental issues, nobody's willing to take on the cost, so it just sits there vacant and it's been sitting there for a long time. So I'm aware of it. We got it on our dance card. I'm looking forward to getting back up to Rome and sitting down with the city leaders and city council. I'm not sure if it's inside the city or outside the city. I know exactly where it's at, but I want to make sure that I have their plans incorporated into our plans and actually go from there. These are things that when we have the special election and we win this thing, and it's a couple of days before I go to DC, these are the things that I want to do is go to the community of hot spots that I know is going on, gather that information so that when we get there on day one, we're already working on the big rocks that are affecting all of our counties. And that's why I go and speak to I do a town hall in every county. We're going to continue to do that so that we know the issues. I know in Rome, Georgia, you got that particular issue. You got an issue when it comes to PFAS in the water and a couple other things. So I am aware of the issues. We just got to prioritize them. But I'll be sitting down with the city officials or the county commissioners and making sure we got things prioritized so that whatever I'm doing in DC fits back into what y'all kind of do in the city. And at the same time, what the state of Georgia is trying to do so we can all work together. And I think that is the most significant piece, is that I'm going to be somebody, I don't care what t-shirt you got on, I'm going to work with you to get the problem solved. So thank you for that question there in Rome, Georgia.
Speaking of t-shirts, do you have a Sons of Liberty t-shirt?
No, I don't.
Would you like one?
Email me your address. I'll send you one. I'll change your size. But
okay. Yeah. Just reach out to Lauren or reach out to Renee and they'll give you the address and I'll take a picture and post it on my social media. You'll see it.
That'd be awesome.
Are you familiar with Richard Ojeda?
I think so, but I'm not sure.
He's a retired
I talk to
Army
so many
major.
different people now. I'm not sure. Say again.
He's a retired Army major. He's a Mustang. He's running for office.
Oh yes. I see him on social media. He's airborne guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Airborne all the way.
I would love to see you guys link up.
Oh man, that would be great.
That would be a good show.
Up in
that
North
would be a really
Carolina,
good show. Can we make that happen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent him a text and I was like, "Hey, can I introduce you?"
Oh yeah, that would be a fun show.
You know,
I'll show for that one.
When we jump off, if somebody can send my team his phone number, I promise you, I'll call him in the morning, direct, and we will work some out. At the end of the day, you know, veterans are willing to work together, and I see his stuff all the time. He's intense. He is intense. But doing a great job, and I think he's going to win that election up there, and I'll see him in Washington D.C. in November.
That would be so great.
That would be great.
I feel like you need an NCOIC for your campaign, or once you're in office for your staff. And I'm just gonna go ahead and volunteer.
Okay.
And hey, if you need an InfoSec person, volunteer here.
Okay, I keep all that in mind.
I've already been helping out other candidates, so.
Okay. I would say this, guys. What I would love to do is in that first 10 days of being there in DC, we got to work. Okay, we will be working, but I've said this to some others. Come to DC, and we'll do your show right from DC, because it shows like y'all guys show is helping me talk directly to our veterans, and that's what it's all about. So we'll set it up. Come on up. We'll do it directly from my office, and if you want to do it real military style, we'll do it at 3:00 in the morning, or we can do it at 4. Doesn't make me any difference.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's crazy talk.
What are you talking about? That's gamer time for me. I'll be up.
Nah, 3 a.m. I want to be in bed with my wife. Yes, sir.
Not getting myself in trouble this week.
That's okay. You and me, we can stay up in game. Don't worry, Matt. It's all right. We don't have wives or husbands to go to.
It's true.
We got each other though.
Hey,
it's true.
This week, guys, on Saturday, we actually doing our opening up the campaign's headquarters. We're doing that right there in Rome, I think at 11:00 on Saturday morning. So I want to just say to all the veterans, I don't care where you're at, please come We're gonna give out refreshments, t-shirts, all the stuff. Everything's free. But what I want to make sure is that I get to shake as many veterans' hands as possible. I know a lot of veterans in the district, but it's also a lot more I need to meet. And it rain or shine, we're gonna be there. If they just go to our website, they'll see. Go to any one of our social media platforms. That's Shawn for Georgia, all that kind of stuff. But if you just go there, you'll see where we already talking about Saturday. And I really, really, really want to talk to every veteran that I possibly can. And like I said, guys, I will call the good Major tomorrow, because I love what he's doing. I mean, I watch his stuff. I think last week he was basically going from county to county to county, talking to people. That's a lot of the same thing that I do. We need more veterans in Washington, D.C. What I have always said in the past, we need adults in the room. We need people that know how to get things done, know how to listen, know how to be a strategic thinker, whatnot. So we'll just leave it at that point.
I have to get his permission to give out his phone number, but I'm 100% down to facilitate making that happen, because he does a live stream. Okay. It'll actually be kicking off here in about 15 minutes on his channel.
Yeah,
I don't feel like.
Well, I tell you, I make it easier for you. I make it easy. For one time, I'm going to act like a general. Okay, just one time. Okay, one time, just one time tonight. I'm giving you permission to give him my number.
You'll have to email that to me, because I don't have it.
All right, I'll make sure that my team, Lauren, or Renee, they probably listening in the background. They will get you my number tonight. If you just send it to them, say, hey, when you got time, give Shawn a call and tell him I will answer the phone as Shawn. I'm just a retired veteran. That's all I am. All right. And the cool thing is, I answer my own phone.
I screen my calls, so if anybody calls me,
I can't even get
leave a message.
Everything goes to voicemail on my phone. I don't believe in answering phones. If you don't text me, then you don't exist. I'm sorry. I don't talk to people.
If I've got your name saved and I know, who it is, if my dad calls, I might answer it.
I only answer Matt and Tim's calls.
At least somebody answers my calls.
I feel like it's a modern phenomenon. People are so afraid to reach out, and this is just kind of piggybacking off the phone call thing. I think that's something that we need to kind of get back to is more person-to-person interaction. I think that we've lost a lot of the way that our society functions through being perpetually online. People, obviously it's easier to text. Like if I'm at work, I'm not going to answer a phone call because it's just my personal policy. But I think that getting out there, and this extends to politics too, is getting out there and talking to people when you have the opportunity to do so. Just look at town halls. People haven't held town halls because they're afraid of their constituents. It's like these are the people that voted for you. So we have a candidate right here telling us he's going to be in the office on certain days in certain, he's going to have multiple offices. So he'll reach out and let you know where he's going to be. So you go down there.
I've been doing these town halls. It's 10 counties in our district. And I think I've been to, 7 of the 10, and we still got some more to go to, and we'll get them done. And then we're going to start all the way back over again. And I'm always surprised and pleased the amount of people that come out. And when I say the amount of people come out, there are Democrats, Independents, and Republicans that actually come. And they ask me questions just like y'all guys are asking me questions tonight. And we all walk out respecting each other. And it's been many a place in the district that have said to me, I was just so surprised that Shawn, as a Democrat, that you were coming right here to our town. And I was like, why wouldn't I come? I mean, at the end of the day, all of us that have put the uniform on, we didn't put the uniform on for one particular town versus another town. We put the uniform on for the American people. And if I want to represent Northwest Georgia, then I want to represent everybody. So that's kind of how I look at it. I'm going everywhere, and everywhere I've been, the people just been great. Everybody doesn't have to agree with me. And everybody don't have to say very nice things about me. But you know what? If you don't have thick skin, you probably shouldn't get in this leadership business. That's how I always couch it when people ask me, do you think I should get into politics? And I say to them, if you get your feelings hurt quick, probably not. Probably not. Don't come over here. So you have to be willing to listen, you have to be willing to work with others, and you have to be willing to have those hard discussions, but have it in a professional manner that everybody can finally get to yes, or at least respect what each other side of the coin is going to be.
I just sent your number to Richard.
Okay.
I also sent you a text.
See,
so you have my number.
Okay. I think this thing is called what is it called? StreamYard or something.
Yep.
This is the platform
StreamYard
that I'm usually on myself. So I looked over here. I said, this thing says private chat. That's the same thing that I usually see. So perfect. It worked out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a chat for the people that are doing the actual stream, separate from the main chat.
I was just to coordinate, talk about, when someone's equipment got broken, and someone has suddenly dropped offline and we're not sure where he went. Not speaking about anybody in particular, of course.
Oh.
We have a long and spectacular history of technical issues in putting this together. Usually, right in the middle of an interview with someone of great import, who's giving us their time to be on there, and of course, we'll have connection dropped. Just right, of course, we did right in the middle of it.
What I would tell you personally, that says that your show is real. That is the definition of
I like
live.
him.
I mean, live means that anything can happen. You just have to roll with it.
It's true.
And I think that's for our audience that's listening to us. They should be saying, or at least my recommendation to them is, hey, this thing is not scripted. This is, nobody gave me the questions. I don't know where y'all guys are sitting, but I'm sitting in my basement. So this is 100% real. This is how you talk directly to people, and that's why I want to be on y'all guys' show. So if it drops and it comes right back up, it's all good. And I have learned from being on live shows, if it starts spinning, just sit there and wait. It'll come back. Don't panic. It'll come back.
But it's not always the connection either. There's always something. We've had everything from power outages to storms to renegade pet apperances mid broadcast.
I was going to say dogs.
Certain dogs that are very vocal.
I would tell you, your dog should get a coin. He's the best.
We love him. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of him.
When I heard the dog barking, the first thing clicked in my head was, man, did I close the door to the basement upstairs? Because my dog would have came down here and started trying to answer your dog.
Yeah.
That's why I wear headphones. I have 2 Malamutes in the same room with me right now. And if they heard Ram barking, that would be it. I would have to be like, okay, done for the night. Bye, guys.
Yeah, Ram is a German Shepherd Dalmatian mix. His bark is not subtle.
No, it is not.
Okay. Excellent.
He's kind of loud, and he's very set on what he believes is his territory to protect. So I'm always constantly having to say, no, the neighbors are allowed to go to their car in their driveway without your permission. He don't see it that way.
We love Ram.
Well, guys, I would tell you, this has been great. I've been looking forward to talking to y'all guys all day. I was waiting for 7 o'clock. Like you would have thought it was Christmas again. So anytime that y'all guys want to talk to me on any subject, but if the word veteran is anywhere in it, anywhere, the answer is always going to be yes. And I just want you to know that I appreciate everything that you're doing for all our veterans, because our veterans are hurting right now. People are struggling. Veterans are struggling as they get out of the military, trying to transition back into the civilian world. And then, like I mentioned earlier, we still got a lot of veterans that are having some mental health issues, and we got to get them a lot of help. We just got to make that happen. So anything that I can do as Shawn the candidate, Shawn the congressman, or even if I don't get elected, Shawn the retired general, the answer is yes, because at the end of the day, I'm proud to say that I'm a veteran. I'm proud to say that I serve the American people, and I'm proud to say that I still want to do something for the American people, specifically right here in Northwest Georgia.
Win or lose, sir. Hopefully we get another chance to get you back on a good couple times here.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm so glad I got a chance to talk to you. It was worth the potential speeding ticket.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like that's a great place to wrap up. Shawn, thank you so much for being on the live stream. We appreciate your time. I am excited about your race, not just because it's MGT's district, or the district that she was representing. I'm not going to call it her district.
Formerly her district.
When is your special election? You said it was September-ish? Oh, that's right. Our special election should be in the March time frame. What we're thinking is St. Patty's Day. But until she sends that letter and our governor says something official, we're just guessing. But that's what we're thinking is mid-March time frame, and we're thinking it's going to be St. Patty's Day. So there's going to be a lot of celebration that night. That's what it's going to be.
All right. I definitely want to try to follow up with you, have you back on the live stream before the special election, if we can. If not, I understand you're probably going to be very busy. At the very least, let us know when that send us an email. Let us know when the special election is so that we can try to help turn out the vote as much as possible for you.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Brother, let me just say one more thing before we hop off. And I want to speak directly to our veterans here in the 14th district. It's roughly about 40,000 of them. I just want to say to my brothers and sisters, thank you for your service. Thank you for everything that you're already doing. I know many of y'all guys are farmers, doctors, lawyers, policemen, you name it. We're all in every kind of profession out there. I just ask our veterans, give me a chance to serve you. I don't care what kind of t-shirt you got on or whatever. Give me that chance. And I think if you give me that chance, you'll be proud to say that Shawn Harris is your representative. And I promise you, I won't embarrass you. And I promise you, I'll be a champion for you every day of the week, 7 days a week. So thanks. Appreciate it, brothers.
I'm gonna download this stream and turn that into like a 1 minute clip that we're gonna post on social media for you.
Awesome. I think it's a good one.
I'll type it in Discord so I don't forget, because I'll forget.
No, you know.
Yeah. Got rattled up a little bit. All right. That's going to be our stream for tonight. General Harris, retired General Harris, running for Georgia 14, is it?
Mhm.
And thank you so much for giving us your time with me tonight. Admin Matt, Admin Asia, thank you guys so much for tuning in. That's going to be our stream. 2 claps and a Rick. You know what to do.
Woo!
And we got a
Excellent,
19 minutes
guys.